Hey guys, Mrs. Brislin. So I just wanted to, we're going to talk about harmful algae blooms here. And I'm going to kind of let you read through this on your own. We've had quite a bit of discussion about harmful algae blooms, and there's more to come. We're going to do a lab on this next week. So I'm going to let you kind of stroll through in your list of videos that you got with this PowerPoint or with this lecture is this one, Why Florida's Red Tide is Killing So Many Animals, and it's by SciShow. The guy does a really good job talking about dinoflagellates that are off the Florida coast. And actually around 2018, 2017, it killed hundreds of manatees. So he'll talk about that. So check that out. And I will let you, if you want to pause here and take your notes, that's great. So again, we know a lot about this. We just experienced them in the spring. Although they weren't necessarily harmful, this still is an algae bloom. And that's definitely a concern for us because there's a lot of dominoes that fall, a lot of repercussions that can happen from a bloom. So if we have organisms that maybe have toxins, these, phytoplankton and zooplankton can accumulate these toxins. And what happens is they can accumulate in other organisms, and then they end up biomagnifying up the trophic pyramid, kind of basically saturating the larger organisms. So like what we usually go for salmon and tunas and kind of the larger animals. So we do have to be careful eating high on the food. The trophic pyramid, we do want to kind of eat in the middle, and primarily because of just fishing concerns and also toxins that are in the water. So check that out. And then these slides are going to go all the way. They're going to talk about all these different types of algae blooms that can be bad. Please read through those. We've definitely seen some of this off our coastline here in California. Here's a picture of Catalina, and you can see a sea lion not obviously thriving, should not be approaching people. They can look disoriented and confused, and that's often in this paralytic shellfish poisoning. So it can cause major issues and eventually death. So it can cause temporary amnesia as well. There's all sorts of different things that can happen. But I think one of the important things here is understanding that they can become, I'm going to scroll back up here. I think I transferred over too fast. Is that when it can get super thick, it can eventually cause some lack of sunlight for photosynthesizing organisms underneath that thick layer of bloom. And then you have bacteria, right, doing its job, taking care of dead stuff, detritus, and breaking it all down. But when that bacteria does that, it uses up the oxygen within the water, creating these really, really poor oxygen zones. And then we know fish can die from that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to head back down here and see if I can squeeze in this slide right here. So how these nutrients move throughout the ocean? Well, let's start with the overall just conveyor belt system that we have throughout our world. And this is called the thermohaline circulation. So thermo means temperature and haline means salt. And that plays a real factor in where this water mixes. Okay, so there's lots of currents all going on within the ocean, but there's this big, massive one called the global conveyor belt in the thermohaline circulation. Okay, so this also drives overall climatic temperatures and weather. And there's a video that I'd like you to watch. This one, the Gulf Stream. So this is just explaining really a part of this system in the northern Atlantic called the Gulf Stream. And I'd love you to listen to this one, and you can see the details here. So search that, and you will see. We'll talk about Europe going into a freeze, and that has happened in the past as this big conveyor belt is disrupted. All right, I'm going to stop right here and start the next video.